Oh, hello, and welcome to Teacup For One. My name is Matt, and that's right, the show goes on. I may be back from the Walt Disney World Resort, but we're all in quarantine, and what else is there to do? For anyone who's been watching the series so far, first of all, thank you very much to those 100 people who watched episode 1, 60 people who watched episode 2, and 22 people who watched episode 3. So to all 12 of you watching this one, thanks for coming on out. For the next couple of episodes, I'm still going to be uploading my travel vlogs from my Florida trip from about 2 weeks ago before the mass chaos broke out. But then just moving forward, this is going to be a forum for me to just talk about everything that I love about Disney, both world and movies and anything in between. All while drinking beverages from this cup, which may or may not be tea. What? Yes, buddy, I'm going to tell him about you too. Don't worry, don't worry. And of course, I've got some awesome sidekicks to help me along the way. And there will be some guest visitors on subsequent episodes, if they return my calls. Now, before we transition to past Matt and we look at the vlog from my day visiting Batuu, we are going to introduce a new segment inspired by the one and only Craig McGuire, at McGuired Reading, called Rookie Questions. This question comes from, well, she's not even really a rookie. Her name is Chantel. She is one of my oldest friends that I've never actually met in person. She poses a very interesting question, which is, what are your favorite resting spots in each park? This question comes into play very strongly with this entire episode, as you will see moving forward. They say there is no tired like Disney tired, but as you'll see in this episode, Batuu tired outdoes Disney tired. So suffice it to say, resting spots in the parks and out of the parks are very important. And actually my number one resting spot from this past trip isn't even in a park. No spoilers, that will come into play later. Counting down my favorite resting spots in each park. Magic Kingdom. My favorite resting spot in Magic Kingdom is where I enjoyed the Mickey Waffle. Right behind the Christmas store and around the corner from Sleepy Hollow, there's just a group of picnic tables. It's a relatively quiet spot, just sit, relax, unwind, but you're also close enough to the castle that you still get the energy and the excitement and all that Disney magic, and sometimes you'll see daytime fireworks. Hollywood Studios. The Brown Derby Lounge. This is a spot where you can go to enjoy some of the awesome iconic food from the Hollywood Brown Derby restaurant, but the menu items are a bit cheaper. You can sample their famous Cobb salad and grapefruit cake, but I didn't opt to do that on this trip. I went to the 50s Primetime Diner. We'll talk about that on a future episode. Animal Kingdom, Nomad Lounge. Favorite resting spot in Epcot, in a chair with my eyes closed in the American Adventure Theater watching the American Adventure animatronic show. And my number one spot to rest and relax on Walt Disney World property? We'll let past Matt cover that for you. And now, without further ado, we are going to go back in time and throw this over to past Matt, recounting his day visiting Galaxy's Edge, also known as Batuu. Word of warning, I am very tired in these videos. So, present Matt might step in. Rude. There were a lot of high points, such as getting into a boarding group for Rise of the Resistance.
I got boarding group 31! I got one too, I'm so excited. Hey, did you get in?
Adopted my little friend Obi here. And of course, building my new little friend over there, R210. But without giving anything away, let's throw it back to past Matt.
Oh, bright suns. Welcome to Teacup For One, my nightly recap of my adventures as a solo traveler at Walt Disney World, or today, Batuu. What? So for anyone not in the know in Disney Parks news, Galaxy's Edge opened up at Walt Disney World less than a year ago. And subsequent to that, they, within the last, I believe, 2 to 3 months, opened up a brand new ride, Rise of the Resistance, which is being touted as one of the best rides theme park rides or attractions of all time. We'll get to that. Now, because of the new land as well as the new ride, getting into Hollywood Studios for the last few months has been quite the challenge. Every morning there's a giant crowd of thousands upon thousands of people, maybe hundreds upon hundreds, thousands upon thousands of people, all vying to get past the gates for opening time, which today was 8 a.m. So I woke up at 6:30. No, 6. I woke up at 6. 6:30. It's still before 7 a.m. I slept probably like 5.5 hours. I should be exhausted, but I'm so excited as I finally get to go to Galaxy's Edge. I'm gonna build a droid. Let's go. But now, without further ado, the top 5 things I did today at Batuu. Ha! Number 5. LARPing. Live action role play. You have to know how to play along, or if not, you have to be pretty open to figuring out the rules of this incredible world that they've created. For example, you don't say hello, you say bright suns. You don't say goodbye, you say to the spire. I found these. They're patches, so I'm gonna put them on my vest. This is awesome. This was the most exciting way to start off my day because it was a perfect signifier of everything that this land is. They provide you with the tools to create your own story and live your own Star Wars adventure. By far, my favorite part was the marketplace. Within the marketplace, there were different kiosks, stands, tiny shops. There was one that was all based around adopting creatures. There was stuffed animals, as well as the Ronto roasters and the game store. They had a variety of Galaxy's Edge unique games that don't exist in the real world, but were created in Star Wars canon. And they have since turned them into actual playable games. So this classic Star Wars chessboard was available for purchase. And then there was another game, Sudoku, not Sudoku. I'm pretty sure it's the game that they play in Solo. And does it exist in other movies? I don't know. I only watch The Last Jedi on a regular basis because it's the only one worth watching. Number 4, Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. Everything that people seem to continuously say is true. The pilots are the best positions. It's just kind of a tiered system. So the pilots at the front are the best job, the gunners are okay, and then the engineers are just kind of there to watch.
You clear the path. Pilots, line up behind the train. And engineers, you harpoon that precious cargo. Now get the move on and know that I have complete faith in you.
So as a single rider, I was an engineer first, so I was in the back row. I just pressed buttons as they lit up, and ultimately I was just there watching as stuff happened. I also hit up the ride right before the park closed, and then I got the opportunity to play as a pilot. I did it.
For your safety, remain seated and supervise younglings.
I will say, as a pilot, it didn't seem like I had as much control over how much the ship moved as much as I thought I would, but maybe I'm just really good at the game. I don't know. Number 3, Rise of the Resistance. Yeah, it's 3. You probably thought it was going to be 1, didn't you? But it's 3. I'm kidding. Well, I'm not kidding. It is number 3. It was an amazing ride. We already knew that. Oh, spoilers, by the way. The production value is incredible. You can't tell what's real. You can't tell what's an animatronic. And my biggest moment was mid-ride. There was a stormtrooper, which, in Galaxy's Edge, those are a dime a dozen. And then, all of a sudden, General Hux showed up.
Leave us. Yes, General.
Enemies of the First Order, we will soon snuff out your meager resistance. You chose the wrong side, and now you will pay.
I don't think Domhnall Gleeson works at Hollywood Studios. At least he shouldn't. He's going to win an Oscar one day. So that's how good the technology is. Or an indicator of the route that Domhnall Gleeson's career has taken. But, okay, seriously, the ride system and the process of events is unparalleled. And it is ultimately like a short play. The interrogation scene was so much fun. So, this is my, not controversial, but let's say alternative take on Rise of the Resistance. And it's something that could be applied to, in fact, we'll even call it this. We'll call it the Flight of Passage syndrome. Everything that surrounds needing to get on these rides, it elevates them to a point of like, this is the thing that will make or break my vacation. But when I'm thinking back on today, it was just another cool thing that I did today. Because these parks are so amazing. They are so well thought out. They are so beautifully designed. They are so creative in everything that they offer, from the shows to the character interactions to even just interacting with the cast members.
Whoever has the best looking roar can be our decoy. All right, what you got?
You there? What are you doing on that data pad?
Just
You don't have to answer. Okay. And we don't have to ask. Enjoy your day. That's affirmative. Suspicious behavior, right?
You might not get to ride the ride that you went to the park to ride, but the park has so much else to offer that it's just still worth your time. And that's, I don't know, I'm tired. Number 2, Sidekick Friends. My porg's name is Obi. His name is Obi. It has nothing to do with Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like when I was in grade 4, there were 3 other Matts in my class. Some people just have the same name. So suffice it to say, this is Obi the porg. He's significantly cuter than Obi-Wan. And yes, I'm counting Jude Law, Ewan McGregor. They're the same person. I don't know. Whoever that one is. And then my other fun new friend. I'm so excited for this. I've been planning my droid for like months.
So it seems to be a busy day at the droid depot. I'm about 5 minutes away.
Follow 1 through 5. And you put up your basket and then I'll be right back.
It's alive.
I'm very pleased to introduce you to my new best friend, R210. Number 1, Cruise Cup Lounge. I know you're probably thinking to yourself, what is that? Where in Galaxy's Edge is that? It's not in Galaxy's Edge. It's not even in a theme park. It is the lounge directly associated with the Yachtsman Steakhouse at the Yacht Club Resort. I hopped on the Friendship boat from Hollywood Studios to the Yacht and Beach Club Resort. I made my way into the Cruise Cup Lounge, and it was so peaceful. It was so quiet. It was so calm. It was so serene. It was so counter opposite to every other environment I've been in during this trip, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I like things to move quickly. I like fast paced. But this was the perfect way to unwind and reflect on my day in Batuu. And just in terms of how the actual food was, so the prime rib sliders, it's shaved prime rib on the Yachtsman delicious bread rolls. I think they're flaky pastry something good. And then I also ordered a side of beer cheese to dip the fries in. And it was great. I mean, like, Honestly, if you like prime rib, and if you like buns, and if you like beer, and if you like cheese, and if you like beer cheese, that's a meal that you would really like. Okay, Matt out. Ooh. Till the spire. See ya. Go away.